From viral meltdowns to careers derailed by addiction, Hollywood has seen its fair share of stars whose talent was overshadowed by their struggles with alcohol. Among them, some stories stand out as cautionary tales of excess. Here's a glimpse into 5 of the most notorious cases. 14. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr., now celebrated as Iron Man, was once Hollywood's poster child for addiction. His battle with substance abuse began shockingly early. His father introduced him to marijuana at just 6 years old. By his 20s, drugs and alcohol dominated his life. In 1996, he was arrested for speeding with heroin, cocaine, and a loaded gun in his car. Weeks later, he was found passed out in a neighbor's child's bedroom. His addiction spiraled to the point where doctors discovered his spinal cord coated in crystallized cocaine. After multiple arrests, rehab stints, and even a prison sentence, Hollywood seemed to have written him off. However, with the support of his wife, Susan, and a commitment to recovery, Downey turned his life around. Today, he's a sober icon, proving that redemption is possible. 13. Richard Burton. Richard Burton's deep voice and magnetic performances made him a legend, but alcohol defined much of his life. He began drinking at 12, and by adulthood, he was consuming up to 3 bottles of vodka daily. His drinking disrupted film productions, with notorious incidents like requiring 47 takes for a single whiskey scene in The Spy Who Came In from the Cold. Despite health warnings, Burton's addiction persisted. After his death in 1984, doctors found his spine coated with crystallized alcohol, a grim testament to decades of abuse. He was just 58, leaving behind a legacy both luminous and tragic. 12. John Barrymore. John Barrymore, a titan of stage and screen, battled alcohol from the age of 14. By the 1930s, his memory was so impaired by drinking that he relied on cue cards for lines. His desperation led him to drink cologne when liquor was unavailable. Barrymore's antics, like pretending to play rugby with a baby at a christening, shocked even Hollywood. His health deteriorated rapidly, with liver and kidney issues ultimately claiming his life in 1942 at 60. Despite his brilliance, Barrymore's addiction overshadowed his legacy. 11. Bernard Lee. Bernard Lee, best known as the original M in James Bond films, carried a commanding presence on screen while battling personal struggles. His secretive drinking often disrupted work. During The Third Man, Lee disappeared, prompting searches in local bars. Tragedy struck when a house fire claimed his wife's life, leading to deep depression and debt. A chance encounter with Richard Burton in a pub brought unexpected kindness, a $6,000 check that helped Lee rebuild his life. Despite continued struggles, Lee remained a beloved figure, portraying M until his death in 1981 from stomach cancer. 10. William Holden. William Holden was one of Hollywood's most charismatic stars, known for classics like Sunset Boulevard and his Oscar-winning performance in Stalag 17. However, his life was marred by a dangerous addiction to alcohol. Director Billy Wilder once remarked that Holden drank to pull himself together, just to make it through scenes. Off-screen, his behavior was erratic and often reckless. Co-stars recounted terrifying incidents, such as Holden performing handstands on windowsills while drunk. Once, he jumped from a 10-story window, catching himself at the last moment. His struggles came to a tragic end on November 12, 1981, when he slipped and hit his head in his apartment. Alone and intoxicated, Holden bled to death within 30 minutes, just feet away from a phone. He was 63 years old. 9. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was the epitome of Hollywood beauty and talent, starring in films like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. But behind her glittering career was a lifelong battle with alcohol. Directors often described days when Taylor was too drunk to remember her lines. In 1983, Taylor made history by openly seeking treatment at the Betty Ford Center, becoming the first Hollywood star to publicly acknowledge her addiction. Her courage helped break the stigma around recovery. Though she relapsed in 1988, she maintained sobriety for the rest of her life, using her platform to advocate for addiction awareness. Taylor passed away in 2011 at the age of 79. 8. Tracy. Spencer Tracy, known for iconic roles in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Boys Town, lived a life shadowed by addiction. MGM assigned a special Tracy squad to ensure he was sober enough to work. Even so, Tracy's drinking led to frequent delays and dangerous binges. During the filming of The Seventh Cross, his condition forced him to miss 16 days of shooting. His drinking often left him isolated, locked in hotel rooms for days. Tracy's battle with alcohol continued until his death in 1967, at the age of 67. 7. Robin Williams. Robin Williams' boundless energy and quick wit masked a lifelong struggle with addiction. During his rise to fame in the 1980s, Williams turned to alcohol and cocaine. The overdose of his friend John Belushi in 1982, along with the birth of his son, motivated him to quit cold turkey. However, Williams relapsed in 2003. He described how addiction quickly escalated, saying, "Within a week, I was buying so much alcohol, I sounded like a wind chime walking down the street." Despite his challenges, Williams sought help and remained open about his struggles. His tragic death in 2014, at the age of 63, shocked the world. 6. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, the star of Lethal Weapon and director of Braveheart, had a turbulent relationship with alcohol that nearly destroyed his career. In 2006, Gibson's drunk driving arrest and anti-Semitic remarks sparked a global scandal. Gibson later revealed that his addiction began at 13 years old. By the time he reached stardom, drinking had become ingrained in his life. After hitting rock bottom, Gibson turned to Alcoholics Anonymous and achieved sobriety. In 2016, he shared that he had been sober for over a decade, crediting his recovery to a deeply personal and spiritual journey. 5. Oliver Reed. British actor Oliver Reed was as famous for his off-screen antics as for his roles in Women in Love and The Devils. Reed once claimed to have drunk 100 pints of beer in a day. His drinking led to numerous bar fights and wild incidents, such as climbing naked up a chimney. In 1999, while filming Gladiator, Reed challenged sailors to a drinking contest. After consuming 8 bottles of beer, 3 bottles of rum, and several shots of whiskey, he collapsed and died of a heart attack. He was 61. 4. David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff's battle with alcohol became public in 2007, when a video, filmed by his daughter, showed him drunk and struggling to eat a cheeseburger. The incident highlighted his ongoing struggles, which included multiple hospitalizations and a DUI arrest in 2004. Hasselhoff credits rehab and his daughter's support for helping him on his path to recovery. He continues to work on maintaining his sobriety. 3. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan's meteoric rise in Hollywood came with a dark side. By 21, she was deeply entrenched in LA's party scene. In 2007, she was arrested twice for DUIs, and cocaine was found in her car. Over the next 5 years, Lohan went to rehab 6 times and faced numerous legal issues. Her addiction derailed her career, with directors citing her unreliability on set. Recently, Lohan has made efforts to rebuild her life and career, though her struggles remain a cautionary tale. 2. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's immense talent was overshadowed by public incidents of drunkenness. In 2014, he disrupted a Broadway show and was arrested for shouting obscenities. In 2017, he was arrested again, with footage showing him hurling racial slurs at officers. LaBeouf's turning point came in 2017 when he sought help. By 2022, he revealed he had been sober for over 600 days, calling it a great humbling. His story is a testament to the possibility of redemption. 1. Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe turned to alcohol as a teenager to cope with the pressures of fame. He admitted to being drunk or hungover during the filming of several Harry Potter scenes. By 2010, he decided to quit, though it took multiple attempts to achieve sobriety. By 2013, Radcliffe had turned his life around. He credits his recovery to family, friends, and his passion for acting. Today, Radcliffe continues to thrive, taking on challenging roles and living a sober life.